Hello everyone. Today we're going to react to a video that's called True Boyfriend Horror Story. Now this is by Onesie Entertainment. I am excited to see what this is all about. Well, by the judge of the title card and not title card, the thumbnail, it don't look so good. So we got to see what's going on.
I've never had the best of luck with guys. I appear to have poor taste when it comes to dating. After separating for good from my kid's father after 5 years, I was ready to just be myself. About 3 months of being a single mother, my neighbor approached me stating that a friend of his, Steve, would like to meet me. It didn't take long before he charmed his way into my life. The first 6 months were amazing, but he began to drink more and more, and each time he would get extremely agitated. He would start fights with random people, and even some of our friends. Slowly our friends would stop coming around, knowing how Steve got when he drank. This, however, did not stop him from drinking. But now all the anger was aimed at me. It took roughly 6 to 8 months of buildup, from name-calling and shoving, to punching and choking. Suddenly this became a very abusive relationship. One time I escaped out of the bathroom window. He later found me by beating up a friend of mine until he told him where I was.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because when we hear stories like this every single day, we be thinking, why she can't leave? Why is she not fighting back? It's hard to do that. In my perspective, it's hard because people like him, they will find you. They will find you. Like they will beat up your family member. They can beat up your friends. They can beat up anybody to find you. That man right there is a psychopath. Like, why? It's like I'm lost for words because he put his hands on her for what? Like it's not cool at all. It's not cool to put your hands on a woman. It's not cool to be abusive in an abusive relationship. You can't. You think people are going to love you to put for you to put their hands on them? No, that's abuse. Really bad abuse. Like people can die from this. People can actually die from this. So I don't understand. I don't understand that. But I understand that they can't like get away easily. They had to because these people like him are crazy. They will find you. Anywhere you go, they will find you. So it's not easy for you. It's not easy for them to run away. They will find them.
Steve began stripping all of my clothes off in a drunken rage, while laughing at me and challenging me to go ahead and try to escape while I was naked. The last night of abuse was by far the worst. Before Steve started drinking that night, I told him that my son, 3 years old, was not feeling very well, and I was going to stay with him as he fell asleep. My plan was to spend the night with my son. At around 2:30 in the morning, I heard the bedroom door open. I lied there pretending to be asleep. Several seconds went by. I held my breath as tears began to form in my eyes. When I suddenly felt his hand on top of my head, he grabbed my hair and yanked me out of bed, whispering in my ear, "I know you're avoiding me." Once in the living
Sir, she is sleeping with her son. She's not worried about you. Like she is worried about her son. Sir, you need to worry about your own life. You need. Okay. She is sleeping in her son's bedroom. She's not. She's not avoiding you. Well, yeah, she is because you are abusing her. She's going to avoid you, but in in reality, you may think she's avoiding you, but in reality, she's just sleeping in her son's bedroom. Her son, like What the world? Son, not boyfriend or something. That's her son. What the world is she supposed to do? When her son is sick, I think he's three or four. What if the child is like really young? You acting like no.
Room, he threw me on the floor, then accused me of trying to leave him, and demanded to know why. Before I could answer, he angrily came to the conclusion that it was another man.
I swear to God, if I catch you with another man, I'll kill you and him.
He was obviously more drunk than normal. He punched and kicked me a couple of times, and I fell to the floor.
I'm getting angry by watching this. I'm getting angry. I'm getting really angry. For real, like, if for real, like, you are a raging alcoholic. You're an abuser, a raging alcoholic, like, you crazy. Like, what the world's wrong with you? You're putting your hands on a female, that's first of all. Like, we don't even know if he's, like, killing the child either. Like, we don't know that. But, sir, you put your hands on a female, like, you think people are going to like you after this? People are going to resent you. People are going to try to fight you. Like, that's not okay. That's not okay. For real, like, that is not okay.
I started to crawl to my son's room, and he slowly came from behind me, asking,
"Where do you think you're going?"
To mind my own business. She's going to our own son's bedroom. Oh, I wish I could cuss right now, but she's going to our son's bedroom, you bastard. Like, what in the world is she supposed to do? And I'm sorry that I cuss, but situations like this, I would call him every name in the book. But I'm trying to learn not to cuss. But he, right there, if he goes to jail, well, I hope he does. If he gets less than 10 years, then I'm going to blow up.
He then walked in front of me, kneeled down, and said,
"You stay right there or I'm gonna hurt you real bad."
He then sat on the couch and watched me as I sobbed on the floor. After about 30 minutes, it appeared that he passed out on the couch. I decided that this was my chance to escape. I put on an oversized shirt, picked up my son, and slowly crept by him. He suddenly woke up and grabbed my leg and said,
"Where are you going?"
I stammered out that I was going into the kitchen with my son to get him a drink. He then angrily replied,
"Hurry up."
As soon as I entered the kitchen,
Sir, you're not the boss of her, like, you're not the boss of her. She's her own human being. Like, this goes to any survivor who has been abused, raped, all that stuff. We will be right beside you at all times, because that is not okay. Somebody putting your hands on you, somebody taking advantage of you, all that stuff, that's not okay. And pieces of crap like him, they don't understand you are hurting them. But they don't understand that. Like, no, that is not okay, for real. That's not okay.
I ran out of the front door with no pants on, no shoes, and no purse. I carried my son all the way to the police station, which was thankfully only a few blocks away. After hours, the way the police station is set up is that you go into a room and press a button and talk to someone on the intercom. I ran in and put my back to the wall and pushed the button behind me as I slowly slid down into a sitting position while holding on to my son, waiting for Steve to burst through the door at any second. I remembered thinking if I was going to be beaten, at least it would be on camera. On the speaker, I heard, "How can I help you?" All I could do was cry. I couldn't even get a word out of my mouth. I didn't know how to explain. 2 officers came out to assist me. A female officer took my son and got him some food, and I went with the male officer to make a report, and he gave me a blanket. After 15 minutes, I heard Steve screaming my name as they brought him down the hallway. I held my breath as if he knew I was behind the door. 30 minutes later, an officer came back with his sergeant. At first, I thought they were going to tell me to go back home and gather my belongings while Steve was being held in custody. Instead, they asked me more questions about his anger issues and if there had been any previous fights. I explained to them Steve's alcohol problem and how he had become increasingly more abusive. They then showed me a list in Steve's handwriting detailing how he would dismember my body in a good spot where I would be buried without being found. He also had possible dates written down with past dates crossed out. I couldn't breathe when I read this, and by this point tears were streaming down my face. I looked at the cop and asked, "What does this mean?" He looked back at me and said, "It means you're lucky." Steve was charged with attempted murder, kidnapping, and assault. I left back home to Arizona before the trial started, but gave a detailed statement before I left. Steve, of course, pled not guilty, but in the end, he received 2 years in prison.
Excuse my French. But what you're telling me is this abusive bastard got 2 years? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Whoever was the judge, whoever who did this case needs to be fired. That's it. Because there's ain't no way that this asshole got 2 years for abuse, kidnapping, and he was planning on killing her. What the world? And he got 2 years. He could come out of jail anytime he wants to. What the world? He was planning on killing her. And possibly killing her son also. But y'all gave her 2 years. Gave him 2 years. No. Y'all gave him 2 years. Are you kidding me? 2 years? 2 years? What the world? Not only he was abusive, well, I already said it, he was going to kill her. But y'all gave him 2 years. He'll out of here. I'm still struck on it. That mess don't sit right with me. That mess does not sit right with me. Y'all gave him 2 years when he was abusing her. He basically kidnapped her, isolated from everybody, and planned on killing her. He was basically abusing / torturing her. Then he was gonna kill her. I don't know what he was gonna do with her son. I feel like he was abusing her son also. That's what I feel like. But in this scenario, this mess is not solved. It's unsolved to me. It's like the Casey Anthony case, where she killed her daughter, but she pled not guilty. She was so-called innocent. No, whoever was in charge of this case needs to be fired, because we don't want this piece of crap back walking in the streets. No, that's not. No. For real. Like,
Just before I left for Arizona, I received a letter from Steve. It simply read,
It's not over. You'll always be mine.
She needs to change her name, change her son's name, because he's gonna be out in 2 years, basically. So, or maybe he been out. Like, so yeah, you need to change your name, change your son's name, get new identities, because he is on some whole other crap. Like, he's like, it's not over. You'll always be mine. Like, that's some creepy type crap. Like, you know how those abusers be like, oh, you're not leaving. You always be mine. You will always be mine. Like, you cannot break up with me. You will always be mine. It's like that. That man is crazy. That man was planning on killing her. He was abusing / torturing her, basically. Like, whoever was in charge of this case needs to be fired. Bring in a new judge who can give them the maximum sentence. Like, if y'all gave him like 10 years or 15 years, I would not be as upset as I am now. Y'all gave this man 2 years. 2 years. And he come out and go back and look for her and do all that other stuff he was planning on doing to her. So, we need a follow-up story just in case. If he gets out. Well, he will get out. But we need a follow-up story. For this, right now, we need a follow-up story because the people who gave him 2 years, they need their karma. Don't abuse people. That mess is not cool. That mess is not cool, for real. Don't abuse. Don't rape nobody. Don't molest nobody. Don't do anything to nobody. That mess is not cool. It's not okay. That is not... No. We don't tolerate that. Anyways, please subscribe to this channel. I'm a little heated right now. Please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to Onesie because he makes good content on his channel. And I will rarely post. Y'all won't know what when I'm gonna post. But watch out for that. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.